Hello, welcome to Market Avenue. My name is Edward Nyako. One of the questions on the minds of Ghanaians who want to purchase or patronize these locally assembled vehicles is that when are we going to get access to these vehicles, and might be cheaper than what is on the market? And according to the companies that are involved in this business, they claim that the policy regarding this automotive industry is yet to be fully rolled out. So today we have in the studio the team lead of the Ghana Standards Authority in the person of Prentice Macmillan, and he's going to help us understand the homologation of vehicles and conformity assessment that goes with this policy. But before we continue, let's pick the base language for today, and then Maurice Ogbete is standing by to walk us through the beginning of the week in terms of the equity market till today. All right, we go to the Ghana Stock Exchange. Maurice is standing by to give us a snapshot of the performance of the equity market.
Thank you very much, Edward. The market remains bearish. It's been flat from Monday till now. The main composite index still in the negatives, negative 1.67. We only see some improvement in the financial stocks index, which is 1.07%. Managers of the Ghana Stock Exchange are pretty much worried about what's going on. Having had a very fruitful year, 2021, we ended the year around 46% by way of return on investment on the Ghana Stock Exchange. But it does appear that there's something wrong somewhere, and it even gets scarier because then the Bank of Ghana has increased the policy rate to 17%, which will make foreign investors very much attractive to the bond market. Government is now going to go much into the bond markets. So unless something changes, unless we see much improvement with the main Ghanaian economy, it does appear that the equities market is going to be this slow for a very good part of the year. So the market capitalization remains the same throughout the week. From the beginning of the week to now, is 64.3 billion Ghana cedis from Monday to now. But by the close of trading today, Edward, some 709 shares exchanged hands, and that was valued at around 1.5 billion Ghana cedis. Even though there was no price change, we see the value going up significantly. So let's look at who sold what and who didn't sell at all. I think it was MTN Ghana, which, as usual, led the pack. They sold some 272,943 shares.
That's a lot.
Very much so. And then Cowbank also came in with 207,260 shares. Then we see the likes of EGH. EGL. Okay, so that's 140,000 shares. Yeah. And then Enterprise Ghana sold some 80,648 shares. As I said, there was no price change, and the market remains flat throughout the week. Let's see what happens next week. Sure.
Thank you very much. So that is Maurice Ogbete taking us through the performance of the equity market from Monday to today. We're going for a short break. When we come back, I will be joined with Prentice Macmillan, the team lead at the Ghana Standard Authority in charge of vehicle homologation and conformity assessment. Hello, welcome to Market Avenue. Macmillan, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Great to have you in the studio.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Wonderful. Your title or where you work, your outfit is very interesting. The name, Vehicle Homologation and Conformity Assessment. Mouthful, eh?
Yes, it is.
What is homologation at all?
So basically, it's just the process by which vehicles are certified to be able to ensure consumers that it is safe, it's of good quality, and it's environmentally friendly.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
And it's such a big word.
Yes.
Fantastic. Great. So today we're looking at the automotive industry policy.
Yeah.
Why, as a country, do we need a policy to kickstart this move?
Okay, so generally, policies are government's ways of letting stakeholders know what their intentions are and what direction they are going. It helps stakeholders to be able to support government, to know what it is they intend to do, where they want to get to, and if it is in line with many of the stakeholders' internal policies, their dreams, their desires, their goals and objectives, then they will be able to support government. So every administration would want to put out policies to help their stakeholders know their intention and direction. And it's no different for the Ghana Automotive Development Policy.
So what does this policy actually seeks to achieve?
So this policy, I would say, is actually a drawdown from a bigger policy, which is the government's transformational agenda for the country. So we want to see Ghana industrialize, and government try to identify key industries that could help Ghana do that. The automotive industry was one of those anchor industries that was identified to say this will be able to get us there. So there was an automotive policy to help people see what direction Ghana wants to go with the automotive industry. So this particular one is set to make Ghana a hub, and I will explain why. In fact, studies have shown that clearly around the world, Africa is the continent with the lowest vehicle to people ratio.
Wow.
In some countries, you could have, for every 1,000 people, you will have 182 vehicles. In Africa, it's just 42 vehicles to every 1,000
182
people.
to 42.
Yes, so you can see the gap. So the industry globally has identified that the next frontier for vehicle manufacture and sale will be Africa.
Wow.
And Ghana is just saying, look, if you are going to do this, then pick us. Pick Ghana as your hub to actually assemble, manufacture, and sell these vehicles from Ghana. And so what can we do to make this place attractive enough for original equipment manufacturers of vehicles to actually come to Ghana and use Ghana as that hub? That is what this policy seeks to do. But as you go into the content of the policy, you realize that it addresses several things along the value chain of vehicle assembly.
But before we go there, let's find out. Yesterday I asked this question from Japan Motors, that you are sitting at the place of policy and you are implementing it.
Yes.
So he's in the field, doing this business. But from your end, what do you think we've gotten right that is attracting these giants into our space?
Well, there are some things which I would say we have been doing right for some time now. They are not completely new. And this has to do with our political stability and economic relative stability as well. So looking at the sub-region, it makes Ghana a very good place to start to look at. But over and above that, there are several aspects of the policy which even makes it better to attract these ones here. The policy provides for certain fiscal incentives that covers taxes, duties, levies, to be able to help these original equipment manufacturers come invest in the establishment of these vehicle assembly plants, so that it would ease the pressure on them. You don't have to deal with this in addition to the investments all at the same time. Over and beyond this, the policy goes on to provide prescriptions for standards that will then cater for quality and safety of the vehicles, but even looking at aspects of skills development to be able to feed that industry. There are also another aspect which probably yesterday you may have heard. The president announced that another aspect of the policy he is keen to see implemented will be the vehicle financing schemes.
That's what most young men out there are interested in.
Exactly.
Yes, because I remember when I asked the question that when I go, what is the difference if we import vehicles to the country, we assembled these vehicles here.
Yeah.
The pricing, how is the pricing going to be like? And you from your end, what is the way out?
All right. So one key thing to remember, as I mentioned, is the initial investment that goes into this. So in the very short term, we may not have seen, for those who have already started purchasing, any difference, but we can say for now we are breaking even. But as the volumes go up, then we should start to see significant decreases in the cost of locally assembled vehicles from that which is imported into the country. And this is where we want to go. But there is also a bigger picture that we all need to keep in mind. The focus of the policy is also on creating jobs for the people. Every vehicle comes with thousands of parts, and these parts are actually manufactured somewhere. For decades, we've complained as a country and say, oh, we have a lot of bauxite, and we have iron ore, and we have this. And in fact, recent studies by the Mineral Commission shows that we have tons of lithium,
Yes.
which could be used for batteries and several other things. So, but where are we going to use these things? We need industries that are going to mop them up and use them for finished products that are of interest to consumers. The vehicle industry will be one key industry that can do so. So an aspect of the policy is going to focus on component manufacturing. We should identify what raw materials we actually have and what components we can actually manufacture in country, not only for our local assembly, but even as supply to other vehicle assembly plants around the world. This will be a focus, and by doing that, you'll be creating businesses and linkages to thousands of different vehicle parts. So this is the long-term goal of the policy. So we look at the short term in getting vehicles, but also the long term. So in the very short term, government is trying to create that business by actually putting out a directive for all state institutions to actually purchase locally assembled vehicles. But then for the rest of us, you and I, now what do we do? That's where the vehicle financing scheme comes in.
So what does this seek to do, that one?
So it only seeks to provide funding for vehicle purchase so that individuals who are purchasing the vehicles don't have to pay the full amount all at the same time.
So imagine if let's assume that this is VW or Nissan Navara.
Yes.
And it's on the market $40,000.
Yes.
Maybe you could change to, convert to Ghana cedis. It's about 120 or about 100,000 Ghana cedis. I will not pay upfront 100,000.
Yeah.
I'll pay some amount of money.
Yeah.
And the rest target.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because you see, the thing is that new vehicle manufacturers are actually giving the vehicle to you with a guarantee that you're not going to have any issue within the next 3 to 5 years, depending on which assembler or manufacturer we are talking about. So he gives you this guarantee and he's going to service that vehicle for that period. You may as well pay that vehicle over that same period. So imagine that you had that amount of money, you could actually put down 10 or 20,000 and then spread the rest over the next 3 to 5 years and then pay it.
That's good news.
And this would have been good. So this would have pushed people, there are a crop of people in the country who are already purchasing vehicles, but because they have to pay all up front, they have to buy slightly used vehicles. So maybe it's just like a year or 2 years, 3 years. Could these people actually afford a new vehicle if they had the right financing scheme? These people could do that. So that's one aspect of it that we need to address. And it was good to hear His Excellency the President promise that he's going to see to it being done. So we hope that in the very short term, we should see some results from that aspect.
Well, it's a short term, though you are not in the mind of the President, but you've been part of the team working on these.
Well,
what's the plan like?
So let's look at where we have come from.
Okay.
The policy was introduced in 2019. And already within the last 2.5 years, here we are. We already have 3 new vehicle assembly plants in the country, adding to our own local assembler, Kantanka. Yes. And we are looking at another 3 to 4 more coming within the next few months to a year.
Wow.
So looking at the implementation span, we can say that yes, at that rate, then within another year or so, we should be able to see something concrete in terms of vehicle financing coming up.
Now, talking to the people at Abosoka, you know, initially the spare part dealers and imported vehicles dealers, they were complaining they're going to push out of business. But I got a sense from them that there should be a local content within the policy to rope them in so that they are not pushed to the fringes of this big market.
Yeah, you're right. A lot of consultations have gone on with them, those in Swame magazine. They are on our committees in trying to develop and implement several aspects of the policy. Indeed, nobody is really being pushed out of business. Let me start first with the used vehicle dealers. Of course, when the gentleman said not all aspects of the policy have been implemented, one has to do with used vehicles. For new vehicles, since June 2019, the Ghana Standards Authority have been regulating every single vehicle model, whether it is assembled locally or it is imported into the country. We have not done the same for used vehicles. And this has created an unbalanced playing field within the market. So you have people bringing in used vehicles and they can bring in almost anything. It can be as mangled as what, and still it comes into the country. At present, we are trying to address that, and probably we'll talk about that a bit later in our discussion. So that aspect needs to be worked on for used vehicle. But once we start to see a reduction in used vehicles imported, don't forget, people who buy new vehicles in Ghana will also resell them later.
Exactly.
So we anticipate that we'll soon start to see a local used vehicle market.
Wonderful.
And we are looking, we've already started engagements between the New Vehicle Association and then the Used Vehicle Association in seeing how can we link the two. So instead of saying I'm always going to get it from out there, how about get a used vehicle in country? And then you could be the one also selling that. So that is one aspect. Now let's come to component manufacturing. If you were importing components into the country, then we could again work it out so that the same people who are distributors of components in Ghana and continue to do that business, but the source of the components are factories or manufacturing facilities right here in Ghana.
Wow.
So these are the things we are looking at. Nobody would have to feel threatened by it. These consultations are going on by the leaderships of these associations to ensure that this would actually happen. So there is no fear at all at this moment as to what is going to happen. Nobody's business. We are only changing the source. We don't want Africa
to be a
or
dumping
Ghana
ground.
to be exactly.
And perhaps lead to the reduction of accidents we witness on our highways.
Exactly. So that is the only difference about this. But these people can still be in business. It's only the sources that we are changing.
Now let's be sincere. I mean, right now, brand new vehicle cannot be compared to, using a used one.
I tell you, my brother, it cannot.
All right. Now, so what is the role of Ghana Standard Authority in all this?
Okay, I'll start with the word which you mentioned in our name, which is so I'll start with standards.
Okay.
So we are the Ghana Standards Authority. Our primary mandate is to actually develop and promote standards. So one of the key things we do is actually help the industry to come together to develop standards for our people. And we did this already in 2019 with the new vehicle. When the policy was first launched, the key things we identified for standard, safety, quality, we realized that government was focusing on some 3 vehicle categories as the main categories they want us to focus on, because those were the ones the original equipment manufacturers wanted to manufacture. These are the sedans, like the salon cars, SUVs, pickups, minibuses. So we focused on those. Within a year, we were able to facilitate the development of 26 national standards that cover several components and parts of the vehicle that the Ghanaian stakeholders themselves said, these are key. We can't go below these requirements. So we want you to check tires, we want you to check glazing, which is the windshield glasses, we want you to check brakes. We want you to check all lights, make sure that we want you to check seat belts. We want you, so the components which were identified as non-negotiable were the ones that went into the compulsory standards. So we did this for those 3 vehicle categories, and since 2020 June, we started to homologate the vehicles which were assembled. So basically, we are only trying to check to see, are the vehicles being assembled in Ghana or the ones being imported into the country, do they meet the minimum requirements that were set by the country?
Wow.
If they do, then okay, then everybody is fine. And this is what we have been doing. I think at present we have done about 100 vehicle models.
Ooh.
And the very first model we did was the VW Tiguan. Ooh. Which was assembled here.
What about Kantanka?
So we are working with Kantanka as well, and we have also. So I think yesterday you were at the Nissan. Yeah. The Nissan Navara is homologated. The same for the Toyota Hilux, which is also assembled in Ghana, and many other models which are also imported into the country. And as I mentioned, we will be moving towards others. So the first one is on the standards that we have developed. Currently, we are developing a standard for used vehicles. So the used vehicle standard, which is also coming up, is also going to prescribe what kind of damages are not allowed into the country. Okay. Because we do appreciate that we also have the skill set and an industry that thrives on vehicle repair. And there are some damages that the committee was able to identify as, look, these are not critical. If a windshield is broken, can it not be replaced? It can be replaced. Okay, if a headlamp was damaged, can it be replaced? Yes. But anything affecting the safety cage of the vehicle, then there's nothing we can do about it. So quickly, these standards have also been developed, and you can find them online on our website for commenting as well.
Prentice, I think we have a lot to talk about. Yeah. This is just the beginning, because I'm interested in the local content aspect. So we have to look at your policy, what you have done, the standard and all those things, so that we can talk to Ghanaians out there to understand what you're doing to give them assurance as well. So it's great, and we are grateful for your time in the studio. We'll look forward to see you again.
Sure,
yes.
sure.
Maybe next 2 weeks.
Anytime.
Fantastic.
Anytime.
So this is our wrap-up Market Avenue this week. My name is Edward Nyako. My guest has been Prentice Macmillan, who is the team lead at the Ghana Standard Authority Vehicle Homologation and Conformity Assessment. Shalom. God bless you.